Now students, let us start with the stanza number 2. Then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. So students, at first we'll see the word meanings. So as far means as good as the other one. Better claim means the better option. Grassy here means the unused, and wanted wear means had not been used. So let us see what poet says here. The poet kept on looking at one path for a long time to check whether the path is right for him or not. And then he decided and started walking on the other path because he felt that both the paths were equally good. He says just as fair. So he felt that both paths were equally good and started walking one of them. He adds that maybe he felt that the path was better for him, so he chooses it as it had grass on it, which means that it was unused. Not many people had walked on this path earlier. That is why this path was grassy. So he chose this one. And wanted wear means that it was not walked over by many people. After he walked on the path for some distance, he realized that both the paths had been worn out the same way. Worn out means used equally in the same manner. Both the paths were similar and worn out. Even our life, we take any path or option, but all of them have the same benefits, disadvantage, problems, challenges, and we must face them. We think that we are choosing a better option, but it is not that way. So students, let us start with the stanza number 3. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no steps had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. So students, here I have given the meaning of trodden. It means walked over. Okay, now let us see what poet is saying. The poet says that both paths were similar that morning, but both had leaves on them, and no one had stepped on them as they were still green in color. He decided that day he would take one path and keep the other path for the another day, although he knew that one way leads to another way. He knew that he could not go back on the choice he had made. Similarly, even our life, students, if once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that option and never get a chance to come back again and take the other option that we had left earlier. So students, while making your decisions, you have to be wise enough. Okay, so let us move on to the next stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the differences. Now students, at first we'll see the meaning. Now, what is the meaning of sigh here? It means the deep breath. And what is the meaning of ages and ages hence? Here it means in the future. So let us see what poet is trying to say in this stanza. He says that in the future he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time He had reached such a point in life that there were two options for him, and he travelled on that road which had been travelled upon by lesser number of people. That decision of his decided his future. Similarly, in future, when you all grow up, then you will say that once upon a time when you were young, you had two options. The choice that you made you what you become of it. This is very strong message for all the students, that you should be wise and careful while making choices out of the options that you have in your life, because your future depends on the choice that you make today. So students, be careful while making choices. Now students will be starting the another topic, that is literary devices, in the upcoming video.